The BSides DC 2017 videos are brought to you by Threat Quotient, introducing the industry's first threat intelligence platform designed to enable threat operations and management, and Data Tribe, a new kind of startup studio co-building the next generation of commercial cybersecurity, analytics, and big data product companies.
Welcome to the 5th annual BSides. I know I'm amazed too. I didn't think we'd make it this far. And the 3rd annual CryptKids. When they asked me, did I drop something? Okay. When they asked me to do a CryptKids 3 years ago, I said, sure. And I remember afterwards being almost in tears because all I could think of was what went wrong and what wasn't right and what I felt could have been better and how I felt like it had failed. But the kids coming up to me afterwards, all they focused on was what they thought was amazing and what they loved and what they thought was fantastic, and they didn't see any of the stuff that I saw. So I decided to relax a little now and realize that I think y'all are going to have a fabulous time. We're bigger and better than ever this year. We have added 2 kids' escape rooms. For those who didn't know, thank you to Endgame and Raytheon. They have sponsored those rooms. If you'd like to attend the escape room, you need to go to the booth in the CryptKids area where we'll queue kids and get you the room numbers and figure out. I'm going to say this. We've never done this before. I'm not quite sure how to do this. Please be patient as we try to make this run smoothly. It may not be real smooth in the beginning, but we're going to do our best. We'll take notes and we'll try to make it better next year. We have also added a pie bakery, raspberry pie, and with the blessings of the directors, I am announcing officially now, and there will be flyers at both the front table and in the pie bakery, there will be a pie bake-off next year. So you kids have 1 year to work on your recipe and bake us the best pie you can, and there will be a contest. And the winner of the contest will receive a black badge, adult badge, to BSides DC. We am also really excited beyond words to announce that the individual who will be, quote, running the Kids CTF this year will be an 8-year-old young lady. And so I want you, when you go in, to give her lots of support. She is amazing, and I'm super excited. So we are actually trying to get more kids involved with teaching and running with other kids. So that's our first major staff member running something that's 8 years old. So I'm really excited about that one. The last thing I want to announce is we are going to be banding again this year. If you have never done this before, we try to match kids to parents for some semblance of security so that nobody tries to walk off with your kids. So be patient as we move you guys through that there's a little bit of a bottleneck, but once we get through it, it's good to go. And we will, if you have not read the program, be having, I know that I've had a lot of feedback about folks that come with their kids and they can't really go to the after party at the Iron Horse, or they don't feel right leaving their family in their hotel room and going out drinking. We will be having this year, for the very first time, and hopefully for forever after this, an all ages after party. Bring your own board game, wear your funky PJs, party tonight. Everyone's invited. You don't have to be a CryptKids ticket holder. All children are invited, and you have to bring an adult with you, or you adults have to bring a child. But if you're an adult and you prefer not to drink, or you're just looking for a quiet space, want to play some games and chill, everyone's invited to the Congressional where we do the regular CryptKids. Come on down tonight between 7 and 10 and just hang out and relax, have a good time. Kids are welcome. Everyone. I just ask that if you are an adult and you prefer to drink, to keep those two separate. Okay? Don't bring any drinking in there, and if you have already had a little bit, please don't come in and ruin the kids' fun. Okay? That all being said, I want to talk about our keynote and introduce her. When I have to find someone as a keynote, I try to find somebody who can both be a voice for the kids, but also bring them a message. And this woman that is about to speak with you is someone I met years ago. She is kind. She is inclusive to all. She's a champion of women in STEM, but she's a champion for everybody, not just women. I am trying not to cry as I get ready to say it. But she's a wonderful woman. I'm so honored that she has agreed to come talk with us. I'm so excited for her to share this with you today. So I'm going to turn this over to Kimber Dowsett. Her biography is in your program. And Miss Kimber, would you please come up?
Good morning. Oh, good. I'm glad you talked back to me. So let's just start by being real here. Do you guys get nervous if you have to ask a question in class?
Yes.
What about when you have to present in front of your class?
Yes.
Yeah, but you still do it anyway, right? So I am pretty nervous, but I'm going to try to be as brave as you are every day. So let's get started. So welcome to a bright new hello world. And my tech parents in the room will probably get that joke, but let's see. So hi, so a little about me. I'm gonna keep it really brief. My name's Kimber Dowsett, but everyone I know calls me Bat, like the fluffy little animal, not the baseball thing. I like bats a lot. I really like comic books. Does anybody like comic books? Oh, thank goodness. Injustice. Right? So this little picture of me, I just stuck in here because I am tearing apart a computer and I have screwdrivers in my ears. Don't put screwdrivers in your ears. But this was actually in 2005 at Apple's technical training in Cupertino, California. And I was one of the very first women to successfully complete and get Apple certified desktop and operating system certification. So I got to meet Steve Jobs, which was pretty cool. So I have a couple of jobs. I work as head of infrastructure engineering at 18F. I'm not going to bore you with that, but basically I get to play in the cloud all day. It's super fun. And when I'm not doing that, I'm a mission information specialist at NASA. Anybody heard of that one? Or yeah, so lasers, cryogenics, and optics stuff, ground systems. Super fun, but mostly I like the free stickers we get, I'll be honest. And I really like hacking stuff, so let's play a game, Spot the Hacker. Raise your hand if you think the hacker is A. All right, how about B? Okay, how about C? All right, well, I'm gonna give some of you a hint. It is pretty hard to type wearing gloves and a balaclava. That's that funny mask he's wearing. So we're gonna rule that guy out, but A and C, those are my hackers on the screen, so. What does that mean? Oh no, you might have a hacker living in your house right now. It's okay. Everything's gonna be fine. We got this, right? We're gonna work together, we got this. So kids, I'm gonna talk to your parents for a minute now, so you're just gonna have to like sit patiently. Adults, we do this, right? We talk while you're in the room and pretend like you're not here. All right. So, parents, let's talk about this. I know there are a lot of really smart adults in the room, but do you ever watch your kid and think, oh my gosh, how did my kid just figure that out? And maybe you have to accept that your kid might be smarter than you are at their age. They're pretty observant, so you kind of have to watch what you say, watch what you do, because they're absorbing everything like a little sponge, right? So let's talk about some qualities. You know all these things, right? They're tough to parent. They'll push back. Do you guys hear why a lot? Like, whose kids say why? Whose kids accept because I said so? Nope. They want an answer. Like, you've got to have an answer. They want to know that you acknowledge their achievements, that you think their ideas are important. Don't we all, right? They're not just rambling. They're going to say the same thing to you a dozen times, and they're just trying to get you to acknowledge that they said it, right? And they need some freedom to explore their ideas. And it's really, really hard for technical folks to watch their kids engage in technical challenges and not like helicopter parent, right? We want to save them from our failures. If you put that battery in upside down, it's going to blow up your board. Sometimes you just, barring safety issues, right? You have to let them fail and figure things out on their own. And we all know that. We're all, those of us in InfoSec, you realize that most of us are here because we sort of stumbled our way to this place after successes and failures through help desk, fixing stuff, system administration work, networking, whatever. So there's a little bad news, right? Does it feel like your kid wants to be in charge? Do they kind of want to call the shots because they know what's best? They got this. They just need you to back off and let them do their thing. And if you're doing it right, which I bet most of you are, your smart kids, they already know they're smart. Like, you've reinforced this attitude, you've encouraged them, and now they know they're smart, and now you've kind of opened Pandora's box. They have a very low boredom threshold, right? Like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whose kids are bored? I mean, it just comes with it, right? Because they've already moved on to the next thing. So speaking of that, let's talk about some good news. With freedom and guidance, they're going to do great things. Positive reinforcement, how far does that go? Encouragement. We all know this, but sometimes we get so wrapped up in what we're doing. It's kind of hard to just take a step back and realize that they're just exploring their world, and we have to kind of be the conduit for them. So, speaking of boredom, who's bored? Really? Really more adults than kids? You guys are the worst. All right, let's build a thing. You ready? All right, I did not make the appropriate sacrifice to the demo gods, but we're just gonna all cross our fingers and do some good mojo that this actually works out. So if you have a card, hey, it will. If you have a card, remember I walked around and handed you a little card. I want you to hold your cards up, high in the air, okay? All my folks with cards, I need you to come right up to the front. You can do it. If you're scared, I believe in you and you can do it. But if you don't really want to do it, you can give it to a friend. Let's see. How many do we have? How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, perfect. Great. So they're Legos on 3 separate tables. Look at your cards. Your cards have a code on them, and that's all I'm going to tell you. You ready? Did you look at your cards? Did you figure anything out there? I'm going to give you 10 minutes or so, give or take, depending on how this next thing goes, to build the tallest, you listening? Tallest, most stable structure you can. Got it? You got about 10 minutes. Ready? All right, go. Okay, while my Lego builders are working on this activity, the rest of us are going to be super bored if we don't figure out something else to do. So let's do something else. You with me? Let's solve a thing. Who likes crypto? Who knows what crypto is? Ish. All right, well, it's going to be pretty clear what one little branch of crypto looks like in just a second. Who likes puzzles? Perfect. Let's just call this a puzzle. Jokes? Do we have any jokesters? Who likes jokes? Okay. This next puzzle's a joke. If you know the punchline, I'm begging you, just zip it, and you just have to sit quietly while everybody else figures it out. Parents, no hints, okay? We need this activity to draw out for 10 minutes. You work with me here, please. All right. I want you to raise your hand when you think you have the answer, and the first hand I see goes up. Mr. Franklin is going to come find you and give you a card that I want you to hang on to, okay? You ready? All right. Why did the skeleton cross the road? Now, parents, I said no hints, but if you need to hand them like a device because they need a notepad or something, feel free. All right, so I'm going to watch for hands. Really? Oh, okay. Figure out the puzzle. This one's 1, yeah. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, you have it? Don't say it out loud. Mr. Franklin, can you go check? Raise your hand so he can see you, big and tall. So this is kind of how your parents' jobs go. When they're like this close to figuring out a thing, somebody beats them to the punch and gets all the credit. That's just life. Does he have it? No, you don't get, no grown-ups. God. You people. You got one? All right. Somebody figured it out? You got anybody? Is that good? Did she get a card?
Not quite yet.
Oh, check back here. That's okay. How are my builders doing down there? Okay, give them a card. Good job. Yep. Yep, 1 card. Did you get it? All right, we'll do 1 more right over here, and then I'm gonna give you the punchline. Okay, right over there. Yep. All right. You ready? Let's see if he's got it. All right, good job. Okay, so here we go. Why did the skeleton cross the road? What's the answer? To get to the body shop. Come on. Come on. All right, so we had 2 folks figure that out. It looks like our builders need just a couple more minutes, so we'll do 1 more puzzle. We're gonna try a harder one. You ready? So parents, you can help with this, but don't give them the answer, okay? You ready? Here we go. When does it rain money? First hand up gets the card. You can use your notepads on your phones. I see a couple iPads with parents. My builders are doing a great job, aren't they? Can we give our builders a hand? Okay, we got about 2 more minutes. Weirdest keynote ever, right? You're just sitting and solving puzzles, and it's fine. All right, do we need a hint? So if you look at the bottom, I've filled in some of the letters of the code for you. I just didn't add them to the puzzle up top. So I bet if you filled in that E4, you'd get pretty close to an answer. You have it? All right, let's check it out.
Who had their hand up?
Right over here. Yeah, she's right there.
Oh, I don't know the answer.
You didn't solve it, Frank? Lame. We have a winner. All right, we ready? Yeah. When does it rain money? When there is change in the weather. Come on, you know that's funny. All right, let's congratulate our winner. All right, great job. Let's check on our builders. Okay, builders, wrap it up. Put down 1 or 2 more blocks. Look at them scramble. This is like my scrums. Okay. All right, that's time, everyone. I want you, my builders, to take a look at the screen. Can you do that for me? Let's talk about teamwork. So teamwork, the combined action of a group of people, right? We know what a team is. I want to ask you guys a question. Why did you split up? Why did you separate? What do you think? Did I tell you couldn't work together? Did anybody hear me say that? No. So I gave you some cards and they had some codes, and like maybe you could have found the people that matched your codes and formed a team, but that would have been 3 teams. But either way, you all worked individually, which has actually never happened to me before in this exercise. So we have a lot of independent thinkers here, which is fantastic. So I tell you what, you just had about 10 minutes. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to work together, and let's see what happens. Can you do that? Can we all work together? Let's see what happens if we combine resources. Do you know what that means? What happens if you combine the things you build?
Big tower.
You think that'll happen? Show me. Let's see. Right. They don't need, I don't know, they can do what they want. Do you want to tear them down? Do you want to build them up? You want to add somebody's to the top of yours? You want to make a bigger base? Do all the things. You have a good idea? Go share it with a friend. Okay, so what we've done here, it seems, is split off into a bunch of individual teams, which has also never happened to me before. What if all 12 people combine Legos? Help me make my point here, people. All right, so our towers are getting taller. We'll just let them play for a minute. And again, if the demo goes correctly, they'll have something taller together than they had separately. You with me? Yeah, okay. All right. So how we doing? You got 1 more minute. Make it count. Don't get stressed out. No pressure. There's just like 100 people watching you. I just want to go down there and help. So that pink base, see, that's like a good solid base. You should just combine that with somebody else and put their thing on the top. But
Everyone work together.
yes, we try. Everyone work together, but we've got the outliers on the end down there who are the little engineers, we can tell. See, right here in the front row, this nice young lady said, everyone work together and it'll be stronger and bigger. Okay, there we go. That's time, everyone. You can step back from the table. Let's see what we've got. Good job. That's okay. Now, raise your hand down here, my builders, if your tower's taller now that you worked with a friend. Yeah, great. Okay, I'm going to ask you all to take your seats, but please hang on to your cards. You'll need those cards in just a few minutes, okay?
It's gonna fall over if I like.
That is like my infrastructure. Sometimes you just have to lay it down and let it ride. There you go. All right, don't forget your cards. Good job, everyone. Thank you for helping. So together we're stronger. Now think if I'd given them 30 minutes or an hour all together with maybe the pile in the middle of the room. You see how I'm working through the way this will work better next time. But I think that we learned a lesson. Can we say it together? Sure. Okay, who doesn't like SpongeBob, right? He had to make it to the talk. So kids, you're not off the hook. I gave your parents a stern lecture but you have some work to do too. You ready? Who's paying attention? Raise your hand if you're paying attention. Touch your nose if you're paying attention. All right, that's like half of you. I'll take it. Responsibility. I could read all of these words to you, but that just doesn't seem good. It's just too much. Let's keep it simple. You ready? This is bad. If your parents, teachers, or other adults they're trusting you enough to use their electronics, their tech, go online, or even better, how many kids in here have parents or adults in their lives who bought them their own computer or iPad or Kindle, right? You guys are pretty lucky, so don't set it on fire, okay? Look at this kid. This is good. This kid's building things, doing a good job. It's okay to use electronics and technical equipment and tools for things other than they were intended, because after all, that's the definition of hacker, right? So if you do that, you're hacking. But don't put anything that puts yourself in harm's way. Like, don't do things that put yourself in harm's way. Either in person or on the internet, there's dangers there too. But I'm gonna leave that lecture for your parents. If you don't know if a thing's safe or not, at home, at school, or even here today, just ask an adult, okay? And they'll steer you in the right direction. Leadership, leading people, the state of being a leader. Again, definitions. Let's break it down. This is bad. Don't do this. When you go to your group meetings, please don't pull your friend's hair or your frenemy or your enemy or any of those things. But this is good. Look, don't they look happier? And they're probably not going to get timeouts or grounded or have their Kindles confiscated. So it's important to exercise leadership. But another thing I want you to understand is that you can have more than one leader in a group. Sometimes being a leader means stepping back and let somebody else take control, take charge, take control. Sometimes I have to step back and let somebody who knows more than me take over the project. And that means you're a good leader too. At least that's what I tell myself. Decision making. You have to make decisions every day. Being a kid's pretty hard, so I'm gonna again, let's break it down. This is bad. Don't go to jail. Don't go to kid jail. Whether kid jail is actually jail, or time out in your room, or, questions we'll save right till the end. How's that sound? So, yeah, don't do this. But you can do this, right? She's following directions. She's probably been given instructions. She's doing things she should do. She's getting to play Minecraft. Who doesn't like Minecraft? So we want you to build, code, explore, but we want you to make good choices as you're doing that. And your parents will be there to help you every step of the way. So if things get tough, I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. So I'm going to teach you a trick right now for when you're stressed out. It works for grown-ups too. I totally do it all the time. You ready? Okay, who's gonna participate? I'll look pretty silly if I'm doing this by myself. I want you to remember a rhyme. 1, 2, 3, I'm taking care of me. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a deep breath in through our nose for the count of 3. And we're gonna breathe out through our mouths. And when we do that, we're gonna think to ourselves, I'm taking care of me. And if we can do that 3 times, it takes all the stress away. There are these things called mind monkeys, and they make your brain all stressed out, and then your body has a physical reaction. So if you can take a step back and try breathing, totally helps. You ready? It's not gonna fix everything, but it's a really good start. So let's try it. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Don't spit on your friends. And think, I'm taking care of me. 1, 2, 3. I'm taking care of me, right? One more time. 1, 2, 3. I'm taking care of me. And don't you feel better? I sure do. Some days are gonna be tougher than others. I like cat memes. It's a thing. Some days you'll wanna rage quit. I can explain rage quitting very simply. Who plays video games? Who throws their controller when they're angry? Me. You know what I have to do? I have to go buy a new controller, and I don't beat the level because my controller's broken. That's called rage quitting, right? When you play the board game with your friends, and then they're winning, and then you just storm away and don't let them have the win. That's rage quitting. Don't do that. It's tough because we all do it. Adults do it too. Just try not to. I just want you to hang in there. I like sloths. True story, but it can't leave this room. It's a total secret. But when I pop boxes or hack things, I know I love Batz, but actually my signature is this sloth picture, or the sloth picture being like the sloth being dragged away by police, and I leave it somewhere on the box so then people know that I got there first. I want to tell you in not a condescending way that your parents and the adults in your life have a lot going on. All the things you have going on, like then throw on top of that bills and mortgages and jobs and marriages and stress and coworkers, and then getting you clothes and new Kindles, all these things, right? Sometimes they don't realize when you're sad or frustrated, and you have to talk to them. You have to tell them. Sometimes they won't know unless you tell them. Try to remember they're still learning too. And also, remember, you have a way, you have a little tool. I gave you a rhyme today to take care of yourself. So if you're frustrated and you go and you scream at your parents, it's going to go in one ear and right out the other. But if you can take 3 deep breaths first and come to them calmly, I bet you're going to find that they hear you. So ready? Let's see who learned. Ready? Deep breath in. Right? Isn't that nice? All right, here's where it gets real. You're going to change the world. And I'm not even kidding. Every single child in this room is going to change the world. And if you don't believe me and you don't think that's possible, you could just ask your parents how much their world changed when you came into their lives. I bet your parents will agree with me. You've actually already changed the world. But you still have some more to do, and you're just getting started. So, are you ready? Who's ready for CryptKids today? Who's going to build some fun stuff? Who's going to build something cool? Who's going to learn to code? Apparently, Mr. Andrew Cole is teaching kids to code in PowerShell tomorrow. Nice. Who's going to make some new friends? Maybe practice some teamwork like we learned today, right? Okay. So everyone who has a card, so now there should be 15 of you. I'm going to have you come line up right along this wall because I have some special prizes for you, okay? Now, I just want to let the parents know, my problem solvers, my 3 folks who solved the crypto puzzles, Mr. Blinky Bling has generously donated some electronic badges, so you'll have to help them solder. And then I have a donation from the Cryptologic Museum out by Fort Meade, totally worth going to see. They donated some wonderful stuff here too. So I'm going to leave you with my special thanks. I hope you all have a wonderful time this weekend. Thank you for having me. So.